Hello and welcome to the third episode of my Xtreme One Chunk Ironman journey. In the last episode, we trained to 58 sledging by making 85,000 bronze arrows. It took quite a while, but after that, we were able to roll our new chunk, the Kharid mine. The Kharid mine was one of the best chunks that we could roll. We also were able to avoid 2 dead chunks, Culprit Queen and 99 hit point escape. But the Kharid mine is not an easy chunk, as I think that completing it will take thousands of hours. The biggest tasks that we currently have are the 19 mining for the shooting stars and 88 smithing for making Addy blade body. The other tasks can be seen on the screen. The Kharid mine unlocks the mining skill because it has copper and tin, as I previously only had access to the iron and coal rocks at the Xtreme Abbey. I can smelt the ores at the Kharid, which is one of the best furnace locations in the game. And at the Giants Plateau, I have an anvil relatively close to the bank. But the biggest problem is that I have only access to a bronze pickaxe, which is very bad, especially with the higher level ores. Getting 15 mining did not take long at all, and now I can mine iron ore. And mining iron ore at the Kharid mine was one of the chunk tasks also. Then it was time to head to the Xtreme Abbey mine, where I will be probably doing most of the mining, as it is closer to the bank compared to the Kharid mine. Even with only a bronze pickaxe, mining the iron ore was quite okay, and the early levels were quite fast. But how many ore do I actually need to mine, and which ore should I mine? If I decide to make steel items, I need to mine 40,000 iron and 80,000 coal to get to 90 mining. The problem is that it will only get me to the level 81 smithing, so I will need to get almost double of that amount in order to get to 88 smithing, which will get me to the 97 mining. Another option would be only to mine iron ore. I will need about 153,000 iron ore to get to 90 mining, but smelting iron has a 50% fail chance, so those ores will get me only to the level 83 smithing. In order to get to the 88 smithing, I will need to mine 235,000 iron ore, which will get me to the level 94 mining. For now, I think that I will stick to the mining iron ore, as it is much faster than trying to get coal with the bronze pickaxe. Level 5 agility. Lumping is finally getting a bit faster, but after hitting the level 55 mining, I decided to do something different. I want to hunt beginner and easy clue scrolls from men. They have possibilities for very nice rewards, the biggest ones being better pickaxes, bows and elemental stuffs. Having a better pickaxe could save me hundreds of hours on the mining grind, but more importantly, I wanted to have break from the mining, and I also feel that clue juggling is a key part of the one chunking. For beginner clues, the chance of receiving one of them from a man is 1 in 19. Currently, I can solve 3 out of 37 of them, and I must gather at least 3 beginner clues to be sure that I will get a casket, which means that I should, on average, kill 3,300 men in order to get a beginner casket. For easy clues, the chance of receiving them is 1 in 128, and I can currently solve 6 out of 165 of them, and I need 4 of them to be sure of getting the casket, which means that I should, in average, kill 14,000 men in order to get an easy casket. Okay, so we got our first beginner clue. Let's see if we got lucky. Nope. And the same thing with our first easy clue. Level 60 strength, so I am 2000 kills dry for any solvable clue scroll. This is not looking very good right now. And 200 skill later, I finally got an easy clue, which was within my chunks. The problem was that it required leather gloves, which I did not have. But I decided to keep the clue, as I had a plan in my mind. A few hundred kills later, we got our second solvable clue, and now we were actually recently lucky with the easy clues, but very dry with the beginner clues. We got the first double clue drop, and the beginner one was actually solvable. The second beginner clue took a very long time. We got it at 6,300 KC. Only one more to go, and then we have a guaranteed casket. 65 strength and 17 combat. Then we finally got a third beginner clue, and we were able to go for the casket. It was a 2-step clue, so we had one leftover clue. Let's see what we got. This could change everything. Yeah, it did not change anything. Not a bad reward for killing 7,000 men. 1,000 kills later, we got another solvable clue, and now we had a total of 2 of them on the ground. And after that, third solvable beginner clue scroll did not take long at all, and we were ready for getting the casket. But the reward was absolutely useless. Bob the cat gave us level 10 fishing. At 9,200 KC, we got the next solvable beginner clue scroll, and it was yet again time to go for the casket. It was a 3-steps clue, and actually gave us the nether body. Not something that I was looking for, but it is our best in slot range body for now. 10,000 kills, this is taking quite a while. Level 60 attack. The melee stats are starting to look okay, but then we got the maze random event. It is our key to unlocking the magic skill. I have been unable to train magic because I do not have access to any air runes, as none of the monsters in my chunks drops them. But within a maze, there are these caskets from which you can randomly receive elemental runes alongside the other chunk. Here we go, the first 10 air runes on the account. After quite a while, we got total of 60 air runes from the maze. Plenty enough to train for the level 3 magic, which unlocks the Confuse, after which we do not need any more air runes to train our magic. But now, back to getting the glue scrolls. But I decided to slay some goblins for change. They also drop body runes, which will be useful in the future magic training. Then we finally got our 4th solvable easy clue, which means a certain casket. But the problem was that the 2 of them required the leather gloves, which we did not have. This is where the training magic comes to the play. Right next to our chunks, there is the cow pen. We cannot directly access it, but if we range the cows, then we could telegraph their cow hides, which means unlocking crafting skill and getting the globes for the clues. I went to get a wizard's hats from the imps in order to slightly increase the possible magic XP from the air runes. It was also a chunk task. Then it was finally time to get that level 3 magic. It took total of 22 air runes, so I had plenty of leftover for telegrabbing. But telegrabbing requires level 32 magic, which is a long way from the level 3. So I want to confuse the goblins with the runes that I had from my glue scroll grind. Area magic levels went fast, and we got another beginner glue casket, from which I got a normal longbow. It is the worst possible bow that I could have, and I already had the ranked skill unlocked because of the knives. Level 60 hit points, and after 26 magic I ran out of the weather runes. But then I realized that the Kharid mine, there are spawns for 3 water and 3 fire runes, so with some hopping I have unlimited access to those. But after that, the earth runes became the limiting factor. I do not have spawn for them, and they are dropped at much slower rate than the body or water runes. I made myself some steel gear. I went to kill hill giants for the nature runes in order to get the last few levels with the low level alchemy. The nature runes that I already had got me until level 31 magic, only 2 levels to go, and followed by 55 defense while getting the last nature runes. Also 45 prayer, but still not enough runes for the level 33 magic. Then we finally got our last nature runes, and we were able to hit the level 33 magic needed for the telegraph. Now it was time to proceed with the plan, so I grabbed my gear and headed to the cow pen. I ran a cow and telegraphed the cowhide, and after the crafting the leather gloves, I started doing the glue. It was a 4-step glue, but now I finally had the first easy glue casket on me. This could change everything. Let's see what we got. 47 body runes and 8 nature runes. Not very exciting reward, but it could have been worse. Getting this reward took me over a month, and I had to kill over 11,000 men, thousands of goblins, and I think over 1,000 giants for it. So yeah, I could say that in the long run it was worth it, as the grind processed my account a lot in many ways. It was also a nice break from the mining and smithing grind, which is still waiting for me behind the corner. But that is all for today's episode. Our long mining and smithing journey has started, but more importantly, I was also able to complete an easy glue scroll and unlock the magic skill. The current chunk tasks can be seen on the screen, and because of the unlocking the magic skill, getting 55 magic for the high level alchemy is now also one of my tasks. The magic skill will play an important role in the next episode, which will be uploaded soon. Please remember to subscribe so you will not miss it. Thank you for watching and see you soon.